Gaza is burning. Those were the words, stark, final, spoken by Israel's defense minister as tanks rolled in, drones hovered overhead, and the skies erupted in fire. Sirens blared. Families ran. Children clutched to their parents. Smoke swallowed the horizon. Cities crumbled. And somewhere behind the static of breaking news and the din of political argument, a deeper question began to echo. What if this had all been foretold? Not in a briefing room, not on a geopolitical map, but in a book written thousands of years ago. Across the pages of the Bible, Amos, Zephaniah, Zechariah, Ezekiel, the name Gaza doesn't just appear. It resounds. It screams. Philistia, the land of ancient enemies. The narrow strip that today grips the world's attention has always held a strange gravity. And now, as war returns and fire falls once again, some are asking, are we watching prophecy unfold, word for word? To understand the moment, you have to go back to the beginning. Genesis. A man named Abraham walks a desert under an open sky. God speaks to him, not vaguely, not symbolically, but with precision. A land is promised. From the river of Egypt to the great river Euphrates. A covenant written in dust and eternity. That territory, it includes Gaza, the West Bank, parts of Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, even Iraq. This wasn't poetry. It was a border drawn by heaven. So what does that mean for today? It means Gaza was never outside the story. It's been there since the beginning. Every battle fought over it, every headline flashing across our screens, it's part of a much older drama. A cosmic thread pulling through 4,000 years of war and waiting. Long before modern maps and missile strikes, Gaza was Philistia. Home to the Philistines. Israel's fiercest enemy. A culture advanced in war and iron. Their hatred for Israel wasn't political. It was total. It was generational. Samson, the judge with divine strength, was betrayed and captured in Gaza. His eyes gouged out. A hero reduced to spectacle. David, the boy king in waiting, faced Goliath, their champion, in the valley of Elah. Over and over, Gaza became a place where Israel was humiliated, humbled, nearly destroyed. And the prophets? They didn't whisper. They roared. Amos declared that Gaza's sins would not go unpunished. That fire would consume its walls. Zephaniah saw a future where Gaza was abandoned, its cities empty, its people gone. Zechariah's words were harsher still. Gaza would writhe in agony. Its king would be cut off. Its pride extinguished. 3 prophets. 3 centuries apart. One message. Today, those same cities, Ashkelon, Ashdod, Ekron, still exist. The names haven't changed. The headlines haven't either. It's as if history can't help but repeat itself. As if time is trying to remind us, prophecy wasn't poetry. It was warning. And it's still in effect. But these prophecies didn't just target Gaza. The blade turned inward too. Israel was warned. Not just of invasion, but of self-destruction. Hosea cried out, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." The danger wasn't only from Philistine swords, but from Israel's own forgetfulness. Idolatry. Injustice. Pride. Again and again, God's people turned away, and every time, the consequences were catastrophic. Still, there was always a promise of return. Of restoration. And no prophet saw it more vividly than Ezekiel. He stood in a valley of dry bones. The dead, scattered, silent. God asked him, "Can these bones live?" Ezekiel answered with honesty, only you know. And then, the impossible happened. The bones came together. Sinew, flesh, and finally, breath. Life. A nation reborn from the grave. God explained, the bones were the people of Israel. Scattered. Defeated. Hopeless. But they would return. First, physically. Then, politically. And finally, spiritually. A three-stage resurrection. Stage 1. 1948, after 2,000 years, Israel was reborn. A nation raised from ashes. Stage 2. On the technological strength. Military dominance. Cultural influence. Stage 3. Not yet. The breath, the Spirit of God, that part of the prophecy still waits. But Ezekiel didn't stop with dry bones. Right after the resurrection, he saw war. A massive war. Unlike anything before. Gog of Magog. An alliance of nations rising against Israel. The names are ancient. But they align with today's players: Persia, modern Iran; Kush, Sudan; Put, Libya; Gomer and Togarmah, regions in modern Turkey. A coalition. United in hatred. Marching toward Israel. And then, God intervenes. Not with politics. Not with diplomacy. But with fury. Earthquakes. Fire. Confusion. The enemies fall. Not because Israel is strong, but because God makes himself known. The world sees, not just a victory, but a divine act. This is why Israel is often called God's prophetic clock. Every event, every war, every miracle, a tick, a talk, counting down. Gaza, only 25 miles long, may be the hand moving us closer to midnight. Because how else can you explain it? A strip of land, smaller than many cities, yet somehow always at the center of global attention. Empire after empire has tried to control it. None have succeeded. And now, as missiles fall and blood is shed, the prophecies sound louder than ever. But prophecy isn't meant to entertain. It's meant to confront. To call. If God's word has accurately predicted kingdoms, wars, even maps, then what about the parts that speak to you? If his covenant with Abraham still shapes the headlines, then his promises, and his warnings, still stand. The Bible isn't just ancient history. It's tomorrow's news. Written in advance. The question is not if these things will happen. The question is when. And more urgently, where will you stand when they do? The story of Gaza is not over. The war of Gog and Magog is still to come. Israel's spiritual awakening is still ahead. But with every explosion, every protest, every peace that doesn't last, the prophetic clock ticks louder. If this truth unsettles you, good. It should. Prophecy is not comfort food. It's a wake-up call. And if you've heard it, really heard it, then maybe it's time to stop scrolling. To reflect. To ask the only question that matters now. Where do you stand in the story that's still unfolding? Because time is shorter than we